I fully endorse making this style of beer. It's a Bock style beer, meaning it's a Bock style grain bill. And I didn't lager it, I just made it like an ale. But it was made with a Kveik yeast. And this particular one was Juggernaut by Maniacle yeast and was given to me by my good friend Nick at Exit 12 Brewing. What a great beer. And by the way, check out, they're going to have links here soon over at Exit 12 for a podcast that they're doing. Cheers, enjoy the video. So that technique that we used last time worked real well. So you can see Christian's repeating it. He's a good lad. It's Father's Day, so happy to all the fathers out there. And I don't know when you'll see this, but happy Father's Day anyway. And we're brewing. We'll tell you about it in a moment. So what are we doing today? We're now at mashing time. Oh yeah. We're not gonna.
I look good.
We're not gonna talk about what kind of mustache that is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've been in porns lately.
Or he's a cop, one of the two. But we can't talk about that.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway,
Stay away from that subject
that's
today.
a bad topic. Yeah. But he's good. He's good. All right. So, well, now that we're gonna bring up that topic, we're gonna use the word Juggernaut.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna use the word Juggernaut. I'm telling you, right here, Juggernaut. So.
Oh, is that hey, guess what? I just found out that we're brewing a Bock today.
So, not
I didn't even know what we were doing.
You know, here's the funny thing. I have the yeast. This one is all about the yeast today. Thank you, Nick. That's right, Nick. Exit 12 Brewing. He sent me a packet of yeast from Maniacle yeast. Does that sound great? Maniacle yeast. And it's called Juggernaut. And Juggernaut, Gary, Homebrew guy, down in Florida, will tell you that he loves this yeast, and he's keeping it in perpetuum as a house yeast now. But Juggernaut is a Kveik yeast. So that means we're bringing it a high temp this time, or fermenting, I should say. I took kind of a Bock recipe because I just didn't want to go with a pale, which is probably better for judging the yeast. I wanted some character on it, and I didn't want an APA. An American Pale Ale has too much hop character, which means that you cannot taste what the yeast is doing. This particular yeast is supposed to bring a lot of fruity character, as well as bringing a lot of peach quality, which I kind of dig on. Now granted, the darker grains that are also in this aren't going to help with it a whole lot, but still you'll be able to tell. Be able to tell that there's a change. So, and I had a half hour to figure something out real fast, or less, to get out the door because I went biking the other day to go buy some grains. So there we are. So we got 7 pounds of pale ale. We've got 2 pounds of Pilsner, 2 pounds of Vienna malt. We've got 12 ounces of honey malt, 8 ounces of Crystal 40, and 3 ounces of Crystal 120. So it's going to have a bit of character going there for sure. And then as far as hops go, we're taking it really easy. We've just got Hallertau Mittelfrüh. We've got an ounce of it at boil and an ounce of it at 30 minutes. It'll give it some bitterness to balance it out, but it's not going to bring in all these fruity esters and things of that nature, bring those noble hop type qualities. So if we're bringing in fruity, if we get some fruity taste or peach or anything, we know all of that is coming off the yeast. And yes, a pale ale would have been a better choice to really judge what the yeast was doing, but I'm not like a UK pale ale type fan, and American pale ale would destroy any kind of esters.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's just do something off the wall. That's right. And I just winged it. I probably could have dropped the 120 and been good, but there we go. That's what I did. So we're swinging with it, and we're calling it the Juggernaut Shine Bock, because we're going to see if the Juggernaut shines through. this Bock, more or less, recipe. One day I'm gonna have to come back and just use the correct yeast to make a Bock out of this, right?
So you really like Shiner Bock out of Texas?
Yeah, I knew that reference was come, which was what I didn't add the R. I thought about it, but I dropped the R off because I didn't want the reference, although I have a good friend down in Houston. But Mr. Steve Mertz. Oh, yeah. Mr. Canoe Madness and 360-degree angle cameras, and I love Steve. But no, and I actually talked briefly with Nate from Under the Table Brewing, and he suggested a recipe. And Nate, I didn't mean to blow you off, but no, I didn't want to make a hazy because that doesn't help me distinguish anything from the yeast whatsoever.
No, sometimes the greatest thing about a hazy is that it kind of just makes everything smooth.
Yeah,
and you don't get to really.
You can be a shitty brewer, I think, and make a good beer.
We've made great hazies.
Yeah, and we don't have to pay attention. We can make a great hazy. And then I talked to another guy, a superbly good brewer as well, because both of them are. I respect both. And by the way, Nate's gone through. He's in the finals of the Sport Challenge. And Mr. Mike Dean of the Dean's List missed by one spot. He was the runner-up, but I love Mike. He's a great guy. And Mike gave me suggestions of 2 different ones. But I didn't go exactly with that, but he got me in the right direction, so I went with something interesting, kind of a Bockish type recipe, just to see what it would do, just for fun. By accident, the machine got turned off and we had to start the mash over. So we probably got in hour and a half mash, hour and 15-minute mash. It's all good.
No, because we're still pouring the grains.
And we did a beer review in between too, so, you know, we're in a good mood. Just a small beer. Barley wine, 13%. Cheers.
14%.
Oh, my bad. It was 14%.
Don't you downplay my drinking.
That's right. That's why we're having water now.
But then I've watched 6 million steps? Something like that. It's about people on the PCT trail going from... So I thought that was a fun one. I watched this really fucking cool one called Paddle to Seattle. It's these 2 guys that decide... he just gets this crazy idea. He paddles from Alaska to Seattle. And they use all basically inner islands to get down to Seattle. It's really cool. But I've been watching a lot more documentaries on nature and stuff like that because it's really important to me.
I'll have to share some stuff. Hold on. Let's do a quick thing. All right, so we're kind of doing the last of the sparging here, draining stuff off. I know there's not much video. I'm sorry. We've been catching up, having a good time.
Yeah, we've been social distancing.
Yeah, if you want some really entertaining stuff, when I put up the homebrew review of Manbear Pigs, that's Josh Hoover's barley wine, watch that because we're going to have some fun just us being ourselves, bullshitting, which is always entertaining. All right, so I'm sorry about the short video. Here we are. We're chilling already. So we're going to talk about the yeast. We're only taking this down to 29 Fahrenheit, roughly around 85, or I should say 29 Celsius, about 85 Fahrenheit.
Let's be fair. There's nothing really long to film about on this beer.
Not really.
Two hop additions, and then you had Irish moss and yeast nutrient, and that's it. And then we're literally cooling it down.
Hallertau middle fruit at 60 and 30, 1 ounce each. Gonna create some bitterness, and you can't really read this. This is from Maniacle Yeast Labs, and they do some unique things. This is a Kveik yeast, and it's the Juggernaut yeast, Juggernaut. And so that's why Juggernaut's in the name. And so basically, we're only gonna cool it down to like 85, and we're gonna pitch the yeast. And I'm gonna actually just not even have this in the fermentation chamber for once. I'm gonna put a wrap around it, the heat wrap. It's gonna be in the office, and I'm gonna set it so that it tries to heat up to I haven't decided. I think 88. I might push it and try to say 89. I don't think it can maintain that. I think I can create about a stable 88 in my office.
You know, that's what's frustrating right now is Dad is having to heat up his beer. We're well past midpoint of June in Oregon, and it has straight rained.
Yeah.
I think we've had 2-3 sunny days.
I biked in the rain yesterday, and then it cleared up. But it was just with downpours yesterday.
Ridiculous.
We had a little today, but at any rate, my pond is full, and I'm really happy about that. And so we're gonna try a Kveik on kind of a unique malt bill, but hopefully that's enough that we can kind of taste some of the difference and still have kind of a fun, unique beer, not something everyone else has been making.
You know what? He can screw up all he wants. It's Father's Day. It's his day.
It's still gonna be a very drinkable beer. So anyway, well, Friday we should rack this puppy over, and I think what I want to do kind of actually is rack it over, get it off the yeast, throw it into the chamber maybe, you know, for a day or two to kind of cool down, and then filter rack it into the horny keg. Well, we'll see if I actually do that. I may not, because there's not much to get off of this. We'll just at least take it off the heat. I'll probably just take the bucket and chuck it in there, but should be something interesting.
All right.
We're gonna call it a day.
Call it good.
That's right. We're gonna get cleaned up and whatnot. We'll come back with other stuff. Watch that beer review of the beer from Madrid Pig 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5.
I tell you, Rusty's out of control. Actually, no, he was very tame today.
Actually, it's pretty good. Yeah, he's thinking he's gonna get a hike on beer.
I cut him down on his drinking, and you know he hasn't been frothing at the mouth as much.
We're not cutting down, so it's okay. Was able to keep it at 88 degrees the whole time, and so we'll see how this turns out. This should be really interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
And for those that aren't familiar, we've got our hop mesh in here, and then we put our siphon inside of that, so it does a good job of pre-filtering. Plus, then we've got another filter here, of course. This way. There we go.
Still going.
Meanwhile, I gotta clean a keg. So we've racked it over, kind of interesting. It actually, I thought it was gonna attenuate pretty low with the Kveik yeast. Because you know, it's known to be so fast, but it only attenuated down to 1016. So the ABV will be a little lower, which is just fine by me. And then, of course, this was like a Bock type of grain bill, but with Kveik. So it should be interesting. We'll see. But we're gonna get this flushed out with some CO2 and then get it carbon up. We'll find out how it turns out.
That's fun.
Getting that sanitized, and then we're gonna run that through the lines as the beer is getting carbonated. Meanwhile, as I said, this was like a Bock type recipe, and that we threw the Kveik yeast on, and the Juggernaut from Maniacle yeast. So, Christian, unmask, get a nose on this.
Oh, that does smell pretty good.
I've already sipped some, so go for it.
Yeah, that was quite the tasty beer right there. Definitely had the Bock flavoring, but then you got those fruity esters, and didn't expect it.
Yeah, that's exactly what Christian said. I mean, the malt bill was right there. It's got that beautiful, you know, like a German type Bock type thing, but then that it left it so high attenuation, leave a lot of sweetness on, which is okay. I like
Yeah,
sweet.
no, I'm fine with that.
But then having those esters on there, so it's going to be fun to see.
Definitely carbonation will change it.
Yeah.
See how how the flavors settle in the next week. So it'll be fun. I think it's a good brew. No complaints.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna sneak brew from last time we brewed, because I haven't tried it yet.
I think we'll be trying some more Kveiks. It'll be fun. I think I'm gonna have to maybe come in and do an IPA next with a Kveik.